Guys, welcome back to the AT3 Tactical podcast. My name's Josh Brooks, and today I am once again joined by my good friend Charlie Onen, our marketing director, and CJ, the other content creator and video host. You guys probably recognize him from your YouTube Shorts feed. And CJ decided he wanted to challenge Charlie and I to a game of smash or pass with a bunch of gun parts today. So
swipe left or swipe right.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Smash or dash or smash or pass, whatever we want to call it.
Or is this like you're gonna run it but just not tell anyone?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for here. Okay,
that's my favorite way.
First couple of parts. This is a bundle part. So we have a
K2
stock
grip
and a pistol grip
K2 Plus
with not specific parts, not these exact specific parts, but this is the Magpul ACS. This is the one that has the door in it for storage. Stocks and pistol grips with storage options. Is this a smash or a pass? What do you guys think? Is storage necessary on these particular parts?
Speaking from like an operational standpoint, like someone that's worked with firearms, I literally have never used that.
Is that right?
I've never once used any of the storage in any of this stuff.
Okay.
I'm sure there is someone that stuffs batteries in their stock, but I mean, I've always had pockets and pouches and belts and backpacks for storage. So I've never personally put Skittles or anything in these. And as you guys can hear, like,
it's probably the screw.
It is. It's the screw.
Yeah.
It's not exactly fun when you have stuff rattling around in there. You take one battery out of that. If you got like 5 1, 2, 3s in there, you take one out. Now you got the batteries going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and for me, it's pass. I'm kind of with Josh. I've never used storage in the firearm.
Sure.
It's like I always have a range bag with me. That's where stuff goes.
Okay.
But at the same time, I have more than one gun. So if I put batteries in this one, I need to put batteries in every single one. Or I just put a set of batteries in my range bag and use them when I need them.
That's the same bag you take no matter what gun you're bringing.
Yeah, I mean, I have very specific use case bags, but like at the end of the day, I'm kind of with Josh. I don't want more rattling than I need. Now, Magpul does make some inserts for the bottom of the grips that'll hold like your oil, stuff like that. Like if you're say like going out on a big hunt or something, like you can't possibly bring an extra range bag. Yeah, there's probably some use to it. But I would say for most modern day applications, more of a gimmick.
Okay.
Even just in reality, like on a mission, you got pouches, you got pockets, you got a backpack. Those are all places you can put things. Now, I will say that on the old M16A2, you could open the buttstock, and there was a USGI standard issue cleaning kit that came inside of the buttstock. It was in it was in a little green sleeve, and it was designed specifically to fit in that empty recess space in the stock. But that kind of went to the wayside as we moved to the M4A1 platform, and then that obviously
that stock was much different, right?
Right. That mil spec M4 stock kind of came to the consumer market as well, but it's no longer hollow. There's no hollow space in there for a cleaning kit. So I could see that if you've got or if you're doing one of those breakdown folding survival rifles.
Yep, a takedown rifle.
My thing is there's so much effort that goes into designing a stock like this, and not just the ACS, tons of other stocks by Magpul and other companies. Like, there has to be use cases broadly for these, right? That they've designed these for, spent the money to design these types of storage solutions for, right?
I mean, probably I wouldn't say broad use cases, probably specific use cases.
Okay.
That these were designed for. It could be essentially like you need a spot to store. Like I know one of the things they have for these grips is like a little oil thing that you can put in here.
And these are specifically designed for batteries.
Yep.
So if you're running 1, 2, 3 batteries on or AA batteries on like night vision, or
traditional tube style,
right? Then that's
or
what
like
this
an
is.
EOTech or something.
Yeah, that's what this is perfect for. But then, like I said, you run into the issue. You take one of those batteries out,
and you're rattling.
And then all of a sudden you're rattling.
You have to pack some gauze or something in there just to keep it from doing that.
Yep. Well, I'm sure there's some specific use cases, like you can't bring a full chest rig with you, something like that, where, yeah, you might want to store some oil or some extra batteries, stuff like that. But the thing to remember is a lot of these are not watertight.
Yeah.
So like if you're putting...
They do make versions of these that are watertight. I forget which one it is, but they do
I don't
make...
think it's this one.
Yeah, I don't think so. But they have the ones with the really tight
See
rubber
gaps
gaskets.
in here.
Yeah, and I know it's not this grip either, but it, like, so that's one thing to consider is if you're putting your tactical Skittles in your butt stock and it was raining outside, you're trudging through a river, something like that, like you're gonna have some soggy Skittles after. Or if you put batteries in, essentially you're gonna get some ionization from the batteries, can start corroding themselves. So like if you're reliant on a battery after 2 years of sitting in your butt stock, you might want to think again. So I guess for me, it's kind of a smash. As much as I actually like between this buttstock and this grip, it's like two of my favorites. But
Yeah,
as
do
far
like-
as the
so
storage, I
love
don't get
the
much value.
profile of
Yep.
this stock, and it's got like the
slope.
The battery compartment actually adds to the slope.
Yep, the
and
cheek
it's not
weld
just-
on it.
Yeah, it's
and
not just molded plastic.
It's that like SOP mod style.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's cool, and I do like the style, but I think it's a gimmick almost, having all the extra storage space. I can see some guys that really like it.
They even make
enjoy it.
versions of this that have the storage compartment comes out. So it's like, you go in and I don't know, you Allen it in or something like that, but then you can just take the whole storage compartment
Why?
and throw that in a different thing. I don't know. They make it. They make it for that purpose though. So that you can have the storage compartment separate from the gun if you want. If you want to take that out.
I think over time we might see some of these get turned into like internal battery
Now,
for optics and stuff on the gun. I can see that.
now one thing that could be useful for them actually is NFA paperwork.
Oh.
Essentially, you can minimize it down, fold it up, and fit it in there. Now, again,
You could do
watertight.
A very tiny copy of it. In
Yes.
here.
Yep.
Roll it into the battery compartment.
I got a buddy. He's got his whole trust in like a folded up piece of paper that's like this big that he can
You
carry.
need a microscope or whatever to like look at it.
Pretty much. So like, yeah, there is a use case there for that now it's with it all the time, which legally it needs to.
Yeah.
But again, it's not waterproof.
Yeah.
So you'd have to put it in a bag or something like that. You'd have to take provisions against moisture ingress then.
Or you can laminate the paper itself.
Yep.
Or something like
This
that.
is definitely not my favorite Magpul grip though.
Oh,
Really?
you know why it's mine?
Oh, this is your favorite one?
Yeah.
It's not my favorite one
It-
at all.
You don't like the rubberized texture? This is the K2 Plus, by the way.
Yep.
The one with the rubberized
The
texture.
non-plus is just your traditional plastic. When you get the pluses with Magpul, it's like that rubberized Hogue feeling grip
Why is it your favorite, Charlie?
because it feels like a CZ grip.
Oh,
Always with the CZs.
it always comes
what I'm
back
used to,
ZZ
man.
With Charlie, yeah.
I actually really like the, and I'll probably catch slack for this, but I really like the Daniel Defense pistol grip.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite one.
That's the one I have on my personal gun.
My absolute favorite stock and my absolute favorite pistol grip are the Daniel Defense stock and grip. And it's I know that's love-hate for a lot of people. You either love the Daniel Defense stuff or you hate it, and I really like it. So, and that is also why I like to buy their rifles that are complete.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're a good product. Okay, moving on to the next one.
We got more. We got more.
This one is going to be, so this is timely. Suppressors. Smash or dash?
Now we're gonna dash.
No.
This suppressor or?
No, just suppressors in general. Are they? Yeah, sorry. Okay, suppressors. No, I'm playing. Suppressors. Now that there's a $0 tax, which I still don't understand what that
It's a
means.
free tax.
We've talked a lot about that on the show. We talked about it last
tax
week.
you freely.
A couple weeks ago. Is there an argument against getting a suppressor at this point? Is there a reasonable argument against getting a suppressor at this point?
I mean,
Because I think all of us, I assumed all of us would be like, yeah, absolutely, like, no
So-
big thing. But I thought about it, which is like, why wouldn't you get
I
a
need
suppressor?
you to clarify your question. Get versus use.
Get.
Everyone
Like
should
buy.
own a suppressor.
Yeah.
Everyone should.
If you have a firearm, you should own a suppressor.
Really? Okay. Why is that?
It's courteous. It's like save your ears.
Your neighbor's ears.
Even with Hearing Pro on, firearms unsuppressed for a prolonged period of time can damage your ears still. You put one of these on with Hearing Pro, virtually you could shoot it all day long and not have to worry about any hearing damage.
With Ear Pro. Because
with
these are
Ear
still
Pro.
going to be loud enough to where you
Yes.
could damage your hearing.
Yes.
And damage your hearing, it's a permanent thing.
Yep.
I know the ringing goes away, but
Oh, I'm both my ears. I got about 90% scar tissue on my eardrums from when I was a kid. So like my hearing's actually very bad. So like I don't have a lot of hearing left. So for these, yes, very important to have. Now the reason I asked for that clarification is, should you always have your suppressor on your gun?
Yeah.
I think it comes down to application. Like if it's a range gun, a Safe Queen, yeah, no problem. But now you have to get into like the PDW, the personal defense side of things. That's an aggravating factor.
Yeah.
That gets you more time in F me in the A prison.
Yeah.
So if you used it unjustly, you're going to have a really bad day compared to just a bad day.
Well, even depending on the state that you're in, and
Yep.
the I guess the jury, the prosecution, all those legal.
But so now you
weirdness.
get into the like, okay, personal defense in your home. Like I'm sure we've all seen videos of people shooting a firearm in their home, and you can see the dust come off the walls from the concussion. Well, that's happening to your ears as well,
hopefully there's not as much dust in your ears.
right? Unless you're in Iowa. I had a teacher that used like, you aren't listening. Are you from Iowa? Get the corn cob out of your ears. That brings me back to third grade. But so it's kind of one of those, like if you have kids in the house, like and you fire a gun that's not suppressed, like that's scary. That is loud compared
Best
to
recent example of this I can think of is it's pretty recent. A guy had a bear break
I was
into
wondering if
his
you were bringing in
house.
the bear one.
And he came down the stairs, and there's just a bear in his kitchen.
Well, I think we missed a portion of the video where he came down, saw he had a bear, and then went up and.
And he was shooting suppressed hornady. So it
5.56, I think, right?
yeah, it handled the bear. I think he shot it like 4 times. But I mean the suppressor. I mean, imagine what would that guy's.
Well, and
Ooh, yeah.
so one of the nice things with a lot of cans is the QD systems now. That okay, if you are worried about catching an aggravating factor charge because you use a suppressor, like maybe keep it by it, and you can always pop it on quick, take it off quick, or like you leave it off so if you need it instantly, you have an unsuppressed gun, or if you got a bear in the house, you got a second to think, you could put it on. But at the same time, that's down to your individual thoughts. What do you want to do? Like I know for me, I don't really see many times in my life that I might use one unjustly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you never know.
Yeah. Well, you're not the one deciding what's just or unjust.
Exactly.
You never know when you're going to have a bad day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's why it's a bad day.
and so I mean, should you have a can, especially now that there's $0 tax, it's kind of like, should you have an optic on your gun?
Okay.
It's like irresponsible not to. But at the same time, they aren't cheap.
Do you think a gun is complete without a suppressor, particularly an AR?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of gun like my Glock 45. It's perfectly fine without a suppressor.
Sure.
In fact, I don't really want a suppressor for that. That would have probably been a better one. Do I think you need a handgun suppressor?
Oh yeah.
No, because it's annoying to carry a gun with a suppressor.
Yeah.
And then when you take it out of the holster, you've got to fix the suppressor on. I mean, that's in my opinion, that's probably the worst.
You're
it's
doing
fun.
it wrong. You need the holster to accept the can.
It's super fun to
I've
shoot.
seen some
handguns.
appendix holsters that have the suppressor as like, instead of having like an extra mag, it's a suppressor. So you take it out and then thread it on. I'm like, dude, you got that much time?
Yeah, it's so I think that's where it's the least practical, but it's super fun to shoot handguns suppressed.
Oh yeah.
Super fun, especially 22.
Yep.
Do you guys think the health ramifications long term have any concern? That would be the only other one that I could think of, like a case against owning a suppressor. With breathing in the heavy metals,
increased back pressure,
the overgassing, the heavy metals, especially if you're shooting indoors.
I
that
mean,
might be the only
if
thing
you
have
shoot a
access to.
lot, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
But at the same time, AR-15s are gassy without a can.
I have a buddy who's a pilot, has a lot of suppressors. He's in Texas. He's always shooting inside.
Yep.
And every week I tell him, hey, did you go shoot outside this week? He never does. He's always shooting inside.
Really?
I always have to give him, and now he's getting into belt feds now because there's Lima 6 and a couple of other companies that have started doing belt fed AR uppers. And with all the stuff that's on the market today with FRTs and all that. So he's shooting those inside. I'm like, dude, you got to go outside. But he's a young guy. So.
Yeah. I think if you're shooting outside, it's not much of a concern long term. Inside, yeah. I know I got a buddy that's got high lead levels. He was test firing rifles for years at a manufacturer.
Okay.
He can't do that anymore because his lead levels are so high that essentially the manufacturer can't employ him. So yes, there is that concern, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's the suppressor that would be doing it. Like, you might get an extra 10% gas back at you.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe 30%.
But if shooting that M4A1.
But if you're outside,
Yeah.
I mean, as long as there's a little bit of a breeze, it's not that bad.
Okay, for sure. So, great. So, I think we all can agree suppressors are definitely
We're keeping them.
We're keeping them, yeah.
Definitely.
On the same topic of
I'll just put this in my back
noise,
pocket.
well, yeah, that belongs to the company. Ear foamies.
Nope.
On the same topic of noise reduction, whatever. Earphone. I see a lot of guys on the range, particularly outside.
Did those come out of my range bag?
Maybe. I don't know. Particularly outside, I've seen a lot of guys run just ear foamies, and that's usually very concerning to me. So, what do we think? Is this a smash or a dash, or do we use them in combination with other ear pro? What do we think?
So we were issued something similar to these when I was on active duty, and they were from a company called 3M. You guys might have heard of them. They're kind of a little company.
Small business.
But they issued us
family
really bad earplugs, and there was a huge lawsuit against 3M because of those earplugs. And those earplugs are like the only thing we had for a long time. So a lot of the guys that you hear with like tinnitus issues from active duty,
Military is the best of the best, right?
It's linked back to just using those 3M earplugs. And these cheap things that you could probably do a whole platoon of guys for like $12. You know, 'cause I think this is 25 pairs. Was $8, so 2 of these would be enough to do a whole platoon of guys on a range for $30. Would have saved the government a ton of money. So these, are they the best? No, but they're definitely one of the better options out there, and it's definitely the best value for the dollar.
Oh, okay.
Now, using these by themselves, no, I'd always say double up, but that's because I've already lost almost all of my hearing in my left ear and a lot of the hearing in my right ear. But if this is all you have the money for, and if this is all you have the money for, you're probably not shooting 500 rounds in a single day on the range and then coming back the next day and doing it again and again. So these are definitely the best value for the dollar, I think. Okay. Yeah. But by itself, no.
Unless you're using like a foamy for double stuffing.
Yeah.
I would never rely on them. Kind of like going to earlier, you get one set of ears.
Yeah.
Like, go spend $30. Get like a set of ear muffs.
You don't even need to be electronic or anything. Just
No, and actually, electronic muffs, if you shoot a lot, are actually bad for you because there's a delay in the electronics. I mean, they're still going to essentially muffle everything, but a lot of the electronic ear pro out there, they don't reduce the sound as much as some of the non-electronic ones.
I see.
But unless you're double stuffing, like I actually know a lot of ranges that won't allow these anymore.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yep.
That won't allow just those. Yeah.
Yep. And again, inside versus outside, you're going to get 2 totally different sound profiles coming at you. Inside, you're going to get echoes, reverberation.
Because there's tons of cops and stuff that have to discharge their weapon outside
Yep.
or whatever, and they don't necessarily have long-term hearing ramifications because they're outside doing their job or whatever.
Yeah, there's some like cheap in-ears that you can do, but I guess for they're more like plastic and they actually fit really well. These are very reliant on how you get them in your ear. I know usually what I do is I'll take the tip and twist it a bit, like really scrunch it down, get it in my ear, hold it, and then let it expand out until it holds.
So the one thing with these, that's why you saw me looking down at my phone, is I had to remember the math equation. I just Googled it real quick. So what this NRR 32 means, it doesn't mean it's reducing the decibels by 32. It's the NRR of 32.
It's the noise reduction rating.
It's the rating. So to get the actual math, you take the raw decibels and then you subtract the equation. The equation for this is the NRR minus 7 divided by 2. So in this case, it'd be 25 divided by 2, which is what, 12.5. So you take the decibels, you subtract 12.5 decibels. That's what you get for how this actually works. We actually did a whole video on ear protection. We'll link it up in that corner so you guys can check that out. But yeah, it's wild how these actually work.
That's pretty cool, though. That's pretty cool. But we all kind of agree these are not good enough by themselves. Only if we're doubling up, or we should just get like really nice.
I would say these are what I would say is like the very minimum is this NR32 with the orange foamies, and that's if you're shooting outside and there's not like a tin roof. A lot of outdoor ranges will have this tin roof over the top of them, and the sound will actually reverberate off of that, so you're getting hit by the gunshot like ×2. So if you're shooting outside with no roof, these will probably be enough if you're shooting a small number of rounds. If you're shooting all day, this is probably ample, but you're gonna wanna put like a set of walkers. You can get the big muffs for like 15, 20 bucks at Walmart, the aren't electronic, but you gotta protect your hearing. So there's little hairs inside your ear that basically get singed off when this happens. That's kind of what causes that ringing. And when that happens, those are gone. So you don't get any of that hearing back.
So one thing I thought was kind of funny is on the back of this, the range of noise reduction ratings for existing hearing protectors is approximately 0 to 34. Higher numbers denote greater effectiveness. This is 32. Peltors are 25 to 30.
Yep.
So technically, these give you a better reduction of decibels, but this is so dependent on how it goes in your ear and the seal being made. And I'm sure there's some people out there that the shape of their ear canal just does not compute with these.
Sure.
Well, and if you're moving your head,
If
you move your head and your ear canal opens a little bit, it comes loose.
Or running a drill,
So
if
if
come
you're
to a hard
wearing,
stop, you bring your gun up.
if you use these a lot, you know that you have to constantly be jamming them back into your ears all day, no matter how you put them in, because they're. And it's like I said, this is $8 for 25 sets. So good value for the dollar. Not the best solution overall.
Not a long term. Like maybe throw it in your bag, your range bag. So like you have a buddy come that, or you forgot your ear pro for a change. Like good backup to have, but I would never rely on those.
I'm glad I saw those on the table because now I know I need to put them back in my range bag.
There you go. That's why I brought them out. Okay, let's do a weird one.
Got a weird one.
This is something
No,
that
we just did a weird
something
one.
that we don't usually do.
Oh,
Bipods?
Bipods.
are we talking for AR-15s or are we talking for bolt guns?
Handguns.
Handguns?
Handguns.
I think
Heck
that's
yes.
illegal, isn't it?
So
No.
these ones are mostly made for. You see them mostly on bolt guns, but I want to go weirder and say on ARs. So are these types of bipods, again, not specifically brand. I think this one's like, I don't even know how much this one is, like what, $100, something like that. This is
They're
like
like $120.
This is like over $200 an Atlas. This is like one of the nicest bipods you could ever get. Are these worth it for AR-15s? Are these necessary? Is this a smash or pass for you guys?
Depends.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
That
it
is my
depends.
favorite underwear.
It depends. So we had this thing called the grip pod back in the day. I think they still sell it. I think
they do.
we still have it. I think we have it.
There's a few manufacturers that make them. Strike makes one. I think UTG has a bipod, grip pod style.
So I think there's a company called Grip Pod.
Yeah,
that made
probably.
The Grip Pod that won the contract, and they made out like bandits because they were selling them to the government for like $210. and it's like $15 worth of plastic.
If that.
Those things were basically like a forward grip, and you push a button and it shoots out.
Oh,
a
they
little
have like the
bipod.
deploy things on there?
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is I actually had one of those on my Nerf gun when I was a kid, when I was probably like, 10 or 12 or something like that.
The best
The
thing,
military issue one too, I bet.
Well, the Nerf branded one, but it was the same idea.
So the military issue.
the thing those were best for was you'd put that out and you'd put it on the floor when you're eating lunch.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's what they were good. And we had guys that would get like, at the time it was high speed, they'd get like an $80 Harris bipod, same use case.
Yep.
Just sitting it on the floor so they could eat their food.
Is that the one with the springs on the outside, the
it's-
Harris bipod? Yeah. So you're saying it's a pass?
I think on
Only
the
when you're
AR-15,
eating lunch with your AR and you need to put it down.
I think for anything I've ever built, it's a pass. I used to be a big, there's no better word for it, I was a big gear queer. I used to like just putting stuff on everything so I could do it.
Yeah.
And I had like I bought like this crazy bipod from a retailer at the time in 2009 that used to be popular before 2013 happened, and they decided Magpul magazines were $137 a pop. But I used to, and it's literally I had this super expensive bipod. All I did was use it to put my food on my rifle on the ground so I could eat food. So I never used it practically. It was always just to use as a kickstand.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're worth
Did you
it.
buy it with the intent of using it practically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Never needed to.
So you thought your mindset with getting that at the time was like, what, I'm going to post up on a car, or what? Like, is that like what?
I'm gonna post up on whatever I need to post up on was the thing. And again, this is before the days of Magpul Dynamics.
Got to go prone.
Right.
Yeah.
And I literally never used it going prone.
Okay.
Ever, not once.
And Josh never went prone. Big tree go down, big tree don't come back up.
Yeah. What do you think, Charlie? Are these smash or pass? What do you think? Especially with the varying levels of like
Such application driven. The only AR I have provisions for a bipod is my 350 Legend.
Okay. Hunting gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Essentially, there's an Arca rail on the bottom, so you would take an Arca bipod.
Okay. Or tripod, like a huge thing.
So actually, that's where I was going to go, is a shooting stick, a true tripod. That might be more useful. Because hunting application. You're going to go out to your blind. You might be walking through mountains, something like that. Like, carrying a tripod with you or a shooting stick is not that difficult then.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the grip storage or the buttstock storage. Like, usually you're going to have storage on your person somewhere that you can put that.
I would also say it's not that hard when you're not carrying an AR.
Correct.
So like if you're carrying a much lighter gun, a bolt gun or something like that, which is more practical for hunting in most cases, but carrying a stick and a rifle in one hand, it's not that bad.
No, it's not. And the other thing too is a tripod or a shooting stick can also work as a hiking cane or essentially something to assist you while you're getting through the mountains or getting to your blind or something like that. So I guess to me, like from a bipod standpoint on an AR-15, I'd probably pass in most applications. It's just there's not many applications that you actually need a bipod. Because even with an AR, like, okay, you need to go prone. Find 2 rocks to set that handguard in.
Usually if you're going prone, it's because you need to be prone.
Yep.
You need to be on the ground. You don't have time to reach up and
Not because you're shooting.
flick out my little bipod. Real
Here's
quick.
the other thing with ARs. They kind of have a built-in monopod,
Okay, explain.
the magazine.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you have a 30-round mag, that's going to stick past the grip, and that gets you up.
You just triggered so many people.
Now,
I
yes,
was gonna say,
it's
would that lead to some kind of malfunctions or feeding issues?
it's
or
not proper to do, but I know everyone has done it.
Yeah.
And personally, I've not had any
Except for
malfunctions
Greg.
from it.
We know you're down there, Greg. You didn't do it.
Yeah, Greg
we
does
know
it
you didn't
perfectly.
do it.
But Nick,
Yeah. I would say, so one of the only times, so I had debated getting a bipod when I was first starting out, really building my first AR, and I was talking to Jordan, one of our product guys, and he was telling me, hey, don't go and buy like an expensive bipod. And this kind of applies to almost any part. If you don't know for sure if you want the thing,
maybe don't buy like the most expensive one right off the bat. Get like a super cheap one and just see if you ever actually end up using it. I think a bipod falls square into that category. So I went out and bought like a cheap airsoft bipod, and I think the only times I've almost ever used it is maybe sighting in at a range, and just to like get as stable of a platform as I possibly can, and then shoot, dial in my red dot, and then take it off.
Have they improved that bipod over the last couple of years?
They have.
So I bought one of those back in 2019. I was doing one of my intro to long range courses.
Trying to get this out without ripping it open.
I had an AR-10 that I had it on. That one was not great. It looks like Magpul's changed the design quite a bit.
That does belong to the studio, so you can just take that out if you want.
Did the studio buy this already?
Yeah, it's been in the studio a long time.
Oh, so that's why the dollar's so high in here. Well, worst comes to worst, it's going to open box. You guys can thank me for that.
I'll use it for that AR-10 series later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this thing's way beefier than the other
way more
one I
rigid.
had.
I remember those being like loose.
Personally,
They've done this is actually a good bipod now.
the Magpul has some decent bipods now.
Their old
Like
bipod was so bad.
Yeah, I
compared to
remember back in the day, like it was Atlas. You had to get the Atlas, had to get the Atlas, had to get the Harris. And like now, I don't know, especially for an AR where you aren't going to extreme distances.
Which ARs can't really get anyway, like most of them.
With an AR-10, you can push it.
Yeah, like some cartridges you can push fairly far. Your bipod is not going to be the difference if you hit the target or not.
Okay.
It might be the difference in how easy is it to level out an uneven ground. Does your bipod have rotation or can't to it? I think those are all things that come into play with it. But especially for an AR, where kind of one of the things with an AR is you're never going to have a perfect setup. It's kind of made for those, like, I need it now. I couldn't pre-plan for anything.
Yeah.
Where if I knew I had to go make a 1,000-yard shot, I'm not bringing an AR.
Yeah.
But if I need to make a 1,000-yard shot today, like now, and all I have is an AR, yeah, I might want a bipod for that. But in most applications, a cheap bipod, if you really think you need one, it's not going to make or break whether you're a good shooter or not.
Sure.
It might.
And they look super cool.
It might make it
look dope.
easier to. A good bipod might make it easier to get set up and ready to aim. But I mean, they make some. Bipods are one of those things that have gotten cheaper and better at the same time.
That's cool. Yeah. I think one of the only other times I've ever used a bipod is hunting in a deer stand situation. So like a nice indoor deer stand, insulated, got windows, and they had a nice shelf to like put your gun on.
Fancy.
So in theory, I didn't even need that bipod. I just like had it. I had the bipod on the shelf with the AR outside the window, looking outside the window.
And the other thing, like I said earlier, like ARs kind of have a built-in monopod that, by the time you get this extended, will this actually clear your magazine?
Maybe,
so
maybe
now,
not. Depends how big your magazine is.
now you have to go to here. Well, now if say you got to shoot this way, now you got to come up a little on it. Versus,
So now you're squatting in a weird sort of way. It's like, whoa.
What if instead you just had a bag?
exactly, like
Yeah, sandbag.
your backpack, like a pair of rocks, wood, like some type of barricade, anything to stabilize.
You could literally just throw a shooting bag down in your blind.
Well, yeah, and so like for ARs, I would call these a little overrated. I probably wouldn't put one on.
I'm probably going to put this on that AR-10.
AR-10s.
Series that we're doing later.
AR-10s, yeah, if you do like 308, 65 Creed, something like that, where like you're gonna get some distance on it. It's not a lightweight gun. Essentially, that's kind of one of those guns you're gonna have a little time to plan before you take your shot.
Yeah, so Luth has a new stock coming out, so we're going to do an AR-10 build. I think I'm going to throw this bipod on that gun.
That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. Okay,
It's
guys.
exciting.
Let's keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Quad rails. Are these?
Hey, you got some
Hey,
cheese?
hey, what's the what'd you?
Oh, I run quad rails.
I run quad rails.
Me man, me eat meat. Very funny. Go watch our blooper reel if you guys.
Me cut fingers.
Yeah. Go watch our blooper reel on the AT3 channel if you guys want in on that little joke. But quad rails, are they a smash or are they a pass? What do you guys think of quad rails? Are these just outdated? No need for them anymore.
I'm a boomer. I run quad rails on everything.
Okay. On everything?
On all of my ARs, I have quad rails.
Wow.
I prefer quad rails.
Sure.
So, I'm a quad rail maxi. I love them. I like them. I use them. I know M-LOK is lighter and more comfortable. I even like and honestly prefer shooting with our M-LOK. But if it's my firearm that I'm building, there's something about the way that these
They
smack
grip into
someone
your
with it.
hand and just like become one with your flesh.
And you could smack someone with it. Right? And you
Old
know
school
it's-
melee.
I guess that's just me though. I like quad rail. I'm, and everyone's like, well, M-LOK secures tighter. Well,
But at the same time, there's no QD M-LOKs.
right. There's no QD M-LOKs, and you're probably, even if you're doing M-LOK, you should probably still use a zip tie or a piece of 550 cord to attach your $3,000 maul to the end of your rifle, or your $600 flashlight, if that's what you're running. Whatever it is you're attaching to the front, if it's something that's expensive, you should probably dummy cord or zip tie it to the rail so that if the M-LOK piece fails or if the QD fails, it's not going to fall off into the bushes and you lose it.
Oh, this one's hit or miss on me. A lot of it depends on the build.
Okay. What would you just prefer?
Is there a preference? Like if you see a gun with quad rails or you see a gun with M-LOK and it's like they're next to each other, both being the same. One has quads, one has.
Am I shooting it or not?
They're both on the table. You could pick either one of them up.
More than likely, I'm not going to pick up the quad rail
The
one.
quad whales.
Unless it's got rail
rails.
covers on it.
Oh, okay.
And so now, that is one thing with quad rails. You throw some rail covers on there. Like, you can make these things look really cool. And yeah, if you're going to gear queer it out, like you're going to put your PEC on there, you're going to get a foregrip on there, maybe a bipod.
Bipod. Yeah.
Yep.
Flashlight with a laser.
Yeah, like if you're really going to gear this thing out, yeah, go for a quad rail. Compared to, because the other thing you're going to find too is a lot of accessories, almost all accessories are PIC. Some have M-LOK, some don't. Okay. So your accessory option opens up more.
Interesting. You think
Just
that's going
don't
to
get
change
chemo.
over time, or that is changing?
It has been changing slowly as more and more people want M-LOK. But a lot of what you find is you now, if you have a M-LOK handguard, like our spear, and you need to put a PIC adapter, now you need to put a PIC adapter on there.
Oh, yeah.
So now,
Your tolerances are doubled.
well, that and kind of going to your point of, M-LOK can fail. That screw can come undone. But now you have your PIC rail point. So yeah, now you have 2 points of failure instead of one, because I'll tell you this is not falling off easily.
Yeah.
There is no screw to come out for this rail section to come off. Like you'd have to shear this off. Where like an M-LOK to PIC adapter, they could come unscrewed, they could get loose and wiggle, especially if you're like reliant on a laser.
Oh, sure.
Like that M-LOK
zero.
wiggles a little, your laser's way off now. And so I guess to me, like that, it's more application driven. To if I was going into hardcore battle, I'd be going with quad rail for that reason of less points of failure.
I see.
And as I said earlier, I don't know of any QD M-LOKs out there. There might be one. They make everything out in the world. So there probably is
See one
one.
at SHOT Show.
There probably is a QD M-LOK adapter out there. But at the end of the day, like if that screw comes loose, I need an Allen. Sometimes it's hard to get to.
Sure.
where if my pick adapter comes, or if my pick mount comes off, usually it's either like a QD lever, and you can snug that up on the far side and tighten
Or it's
it.
a thumb screw that you can do with a
Or
quarter.
it's some type of screw that is easy access from the side. And so I guess from like survival, quad rails.
Okay.
Everyday gun, no.
Like if it's a battle.
I want to keep the flesh on my hands.
Another thing that I have an issue with on M-LOK is, and a lot of people do this and they don't even realize they're doing this, and I've had to like fix people, is they'll be attaching things to the M-LOK and they won't pay attention to the size of that T-nut. And next thing you know, they're attaching a Foregrip right underneath their gas block.
And hitting their gas block.
They've got that screw pushing up on their gas block.
Yep.
It's like, well, you just unfree floated your barrel in a very random
No, you made
way.
it a hybrid.
Yeah.
So now it goes,
Yeah.
It's a very random thing, and it's a drawback. But I think mill standard has changed. I think they're issuing all M-LOK handguards now for the most part across like ground forces and stuff. So I know M-LOK's definitely picking up speed. I know there was the big study they did between Keymod and M-LOK at some place. NSW did some testing, and Keymod just got smoked by M-LOK in reliability. And I think the M-LOK even performed better than the Picatinny rails, which is why we're seeing a move to it. And then you get the reduced profile, the reduced weight. So M-LOK definitely has huge advantages, but it also has a few drawbacks.
and from quad rails go, this one's actually fairly light.
Yeah, that one's a tank too.
And yes, it's probably 20-25% heavier than the M-LOK spear variant of this.
Oh yeah.
So now, I guess one thing this handguard has that I guess we can also talk about are the anti-rotation tabs
Oh yeah.
on handguards.
Those are
Smash or
definitely
pass.
Anti-rotation.
Those are
tabs.
very important.
Yeah. I mean, not all.
For those that don't know, some handguards will have little nipples or nubs, if you will, that come off the handguard, and those are designed to, depend on your upper, forged uppers, they actually go up against the pick rail risers, and it keeps your handguard from rotating. Our billet slick slide uppers actually have cutouts for them to fit really nicely. But the one downside of these is they don't fit all billet uppers. It's kind of, it depends who manufactured it.
Yeah, manufacturer compatibility
Well,
thing.
some handguards are like larger than the actual receiver itself or whatever, so it kind of goes around. I would say, yeah, these are pretty important to have on a handguard if it's compatible with your upper receiver.
Even with like modern lockup systems for handguards, you still think that those are required?
I think it's a good thing to have in terms of even just peace of mind, knowing, especially like what you're talking about. If you're trying to hold zero or something like that, I've seen handguards that, somebody who will remain unnamed, maybe didn't tighten down the barrel nut all the way, and your handguard is a little loosey-goosey. If that had anti-rotation nubs or pins, then you wouldn't have nearly as much of that wiggle. Like if you're in a kind of a
You wouldn't be able to
situation.
completely unscrew it then.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't be able just to rotate that off. So I think that's a good design for me, I would say. What do you think, Josh?
So you'd smash those nubs?
Yeah, I'd smash these nubs. I love them.
Yeah.
They're worth having.
Going back to the quad rail thing real quick is I do have quad rails on my gun, and I'm sometimes disappointed because there are certain accessories that I want that are only M-LOK. So like the Frico front grip, for example.
Yeah, you're starting to see more and more go
Yeah,
away
that's
from pick rail.
only M-LOK. So I've researched and I found they even have them on Amazon or some other stores have Picatinny to M-LOK accessories now, which is kind of funny if you want to adapt your M-LOK only front grip or something.
You should order some of those. I want to do pick to M-LOK, pick to M-LOK, pick to M-LOK.
To Keymod.
To finalize with Keymod.
And then we'll attach it to the storage racks out in the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we'll get another YouTube strike.
Because there's someone at YouTube that doesn't like Keymod.
Okay, now this one will be brand specific.
Oh,
but
boy.
I think we'll be okay. So, Geissele triggers.
I have a Geissele in my Mark 18.
I like Geissele triggers. Here's the thing: is that there's a lot more I feel like this is a lot more competitive now, especially in the last couple of years. I feel like 3 or 4, 5 years ago, people are like, Geissele triggers, the best. Like, you have to get a Geissele, spend the money. And now it's like, you've got a lot of other competitors. You know, LaRue has a lot. I know we, offer ours that's somewhat similar. It's kind of like, a budget
To
version
their
of this.
SSAE.
Yeah.
Their two-stage.
So, like, there's a lot more competitive. So I'm just wondering if, Geissele triggers are still kind of that upper echelon of what everyone says.
I mean, they make some that are very good value.
Okay.
I believe it's their SSAE. Really good value for what it is.
Go on sale all the time, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Geissele, they're going to start controlling pricing in February, is what they said.
Okay.
So they're implementing a MAP policy. For those that don't know, it's a minimum advertised pricing policy. That's why, like Apple products and stuff, no matter where you go, they're the exact same price, which as a consumer kind of sucks because you can't find that like super bargain low price. But at the same time, that whoever you're buying that from that is like lower than what it costs to buy, our cost is on it, they're not going to give you any support, stuff like that. So it's good that they're doing it. So I actually love Geissele for that. Makes our life a lot easier in competition on Geissele products. But I mean, as far as like their brand and triggers go, I mean, they have a great reputation, made in the USA. Now, granted, most triggers are made in the USA. Metal parts, metal gun parts are usually going to be made in the USA.
That's one of the things we're good at manufacturing.
Yep. But I mean, there's some good value triggers out there that aren't Geissele. But at the same time, if someone gave me that, I'd throw it in a gun all day.
Sure.
Oh, wire EDM. That's how these are manufactured. So you ever heard of wire EDM?
No, I don't think so.
So they use
I've heard of EDM, like the music.
Same thing.
Okay.
They just blast Skrillex at it. And
that's
there's
cool.
the trigger. No, they use
Little sandstorm.
They use a special wire to cut everything. It's super precise. So I was just looking at the back, and it says they use a wire EDM for that.
Would you guys recommend this as like the first trigger upgrade for anybody?
No. So
Not this one particular.
Well, not this one, but like, would they? Okay, they have a mil-spec trigger. I want to upgrade my trigger. Should I go?
They'd be going from driving a Ford Taurus to driving the most high-end Ford Mustang they can get. Big change, big gap there.
I think a Ford Mustang's a good way to describe this.
Yeah.
Like, they're fun. They got some power. Are they the most sophisticated, smoothest out there?
No.
No. But they're fun. They're good. They're fast. Like, you're going to get your money's worth out of it. You aren't going to spend, you aren't going to be robbed on pricing on it. You're going to get what you pay for. There's good value.
They also look cool.
Yep. Yeah. Now you go to, what's
Trigger Tech Diamond.
yeah, the Trigger Tech Diamond.
go up into
It's
the
that like a
supercar
$350 trigger.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
adjustable from a pound to 1 pound up to 4 pounds.
Meant for real high-end, like precision shooting.
Well, at 4 pounds, I would disagree.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So, what is it meant for there? Now, okay, that would be like almost your Ferrari. Like, it's meant to go drive on the track, go fast, precision shooting.
Yep.
But you can also drive it on the street, but it really sucks. It's not comfortable on the street.
Sure.
And I guess for the Trigger Tech Diamond, adjustable triggers, why?
Why?
Yeah.
For adjustable triggers? I think the main point that I've heard is they are for precision shooting because not everybody wants.
Why don't I just buy one that's a 1 pound trigger?
Well, not everyone wants.
And that's the way it was designed. It resets
but
good.
not everybody.
If you go like with Bill's trigger,
Yeah.
right? Like he's got an adjustable trigger. He's got it basically maxed out as low as it'll go, and then he polished it. So the thing is, like, if you shake the gun too hard,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
it's going off.
Well, the other thing with adjustable too is how often are you going in there and readjusting it? So, like, adjustment, I guess in the adjustables I've used, it's like if I go too low, the reset gets horrible on them.
Yeah.
Super sluggish, like super soft resets that I don't like. I want a good, positive, fast reset.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'd rather have the trigger designed to work at that weight and like work perfectly at that weight. It's kind of if something does 10 things, it's kind of okay at all 10 versus one item that does one thing. It's usually great at that one
So
thing.
you rather would have like a 1.5 pound or 1 pound trigger. That's all it does. It doesn't adjust down, adjust up, or anything like that.
I mean, yeah, if I'm looking for a 1 pound trigger, give me a 1 pound trigger. I don't want anything different.
What you got to get for Charlie is a Rave 140.
I mean, honestly,
Hey, I
like
also like those. Those are great.
now for an AR, 1 pound triggers, probably not the right trigger to
That
go
is
with,
scary.
but a 3 pound trigger, 3.5, 4 pound, 4 pound 2-stage, like awesome.
So the one thing I do like about specifically Geissele is their heavier triggers. So they got some like 6.5 or 7.5 2-stage triggers, duty grade triggers, and those things are smooth for having that much weight behind it, especially if you're used to like a 3 or a 4.5. You get up, you start, like, oh, a 7, that's going to feel like crazy, but it's not. It's not that bad at all because it's just really smooth. Because that's what's in the Mark 18, and everyone who shoots that thinks like, wow, this is a really great trigger. Like, well, it's a really heavy Geissele trigger actually, because you have to be really intentional with your shots when you're shooting.
Oh, this one is adjustable.
Yeah. That's one of the rare adjustable Geissele triggers. So
I'd toss this one.
Yeah.
You said you tossed that one? That one specifically?
I mean, if someone gave this to me, I'd still run it, but I guess at the end of the day, like the adjustability of it for weight is not something I'd look for. I'd rather find the trigger that's the
Adjustable
weight
parts in
that I
ARs,
want.
maybe that's a whole different conversation, are kind of maybe kind of a gimmick in general, like adjustable gas blocks.
Well,
maybe.
it's more problems.
Yeah.
It's enough. So like, how do
adjustable buffers, adjustable gas blocks, adjustable triggers.
How do you adjust this? Probably a set screw somewhere that you move. That screw can come loose. Like every piece you add can come loose. It's like adding an M-LOK or a M-LOK to pick adapter on your handguard. You just added another point of failure.
Or a pick to M-LOK adapter.
Yep, it's another point of failure. So now the one thing with Geissele triggers and a lot of like the better name brands, LaRue, Geissele, Trigger Tech, kind of like you said, the heavier trigger. One of the things you'll find with heavier triggers is you can really feel them because you're pulling so hard. You can feel every little machine mark in that sear and hammer. These are going to be much smoother. They're going to take a little more time post-machining to polish them out, make sure that they are smooth on the pull.
So you probably should send like 1,000 rounds or 500 rounds, something that through
I think a
before
big
they
part of
actually-
that's just from the wire EDM cutting and
Yep.
everything. We should probably do, that might be an interesting one for you on manufacturing processes, or maybe I'll do it, I don't know. I think I know a couple of guys with a wire EDM, but just showing how the wire EDM makes such a smooth cut. It's like you're cutting metal like it's butter with one of those things. So you get really, really smooth cuts.
Fascinating.
And that's a big part of why the Geissele triggers are the way that they are. So is that wire
I think we got time
EDM.
for a couple more here.
Do we?
So I think
Probably do one or two more.
we got time for one more.
boy.
So
I thought that was I was like, where did you get a PVS 14?
no. So magnifiers, red dot magnifiers. Why do people run these? Why not just get a 3X, Trigicon or whatever? Obviously, that's the most extreme circumstance, but there's plenty of 3X prisms out there that are great. LPVOs, you can mag up to, 1 all the way, past 3X. This one happens to be, I believe this one's a 3X.
Yeah, it's Delta.
So why would you have it, you flip it out of the way, or why shouldn't you use it? Is this a smash or is this a pass? What do you think? Not this particular one. This is our Delta magnifier. But
This particular one I would pick up actually.
I like our magnifier.
This is actually probably one of like our most underrated products that we have is our Delta.
100%.
I know a lot of people that have ditched their EOTech magnifiers for this because of the mount.
But magnifiers in general, are they a smash or are they a pass?
So I've used a lot of different magnifiers, and if we're talking about the Delta is probably one of the better ones out there, especially for the price. The one thing it doesn't have that some of the more high-end ones have, I don't think this one has a flip, like a button that flips it. I think you have to pull it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to
That's
manually
not
rack it.
super uncommon. So I have the So I have an IWI Tavor where I'm running.
That's unfortunate.
I'm running the what's that company called? I can't remember the name of them. Meprolite. So I'm running a Meprolite. It's the True Vision, and they're 3X. They're micro 3X, and it doesn't have that either. And that's a more expensive magnifier, so it doesn't have that button either. But I've run the EOTech magnifier. I've run the HoloSun magnifier, the Meprolite magnifier, and this one is right up there with the EOTech one, with the exception of not having that push button flip to the side, which is I think the one thing the EOTech has that beats this one. And that's my personal preference, is I like having the button to flip it. And I know some people have had issues with theirs where that flippiness turns into floppiness, which isn't ideal. But I like the magnifiers. I'm definitely a keep on the magnifiers. And for me, the reason you do it is it's for the LPVO guy who wants an optic that can do everything but isn't good at anything. Well, this way you're still able to do anything, but when you flip it to the side, you have a red dot that's still good at something.
For CQB, you don't want one of these.
Okay.
Like if you need to hit something 10 feet away and you have a 3x magnification on it, unless you've trained a lot with that, you're going to be so confused at what you're looking at, because essentially you're going to see this portion in one eye where your other eye is going to see the whole thing. Now you get to, I need to go out to 100 yards and all I have is a red dot. That's where these come in.
Sure.
Very, very handy. The other nice thing
Or
is,
you're outside, you're shooting at stuff 100 yards, then you raid the house and flip this, like we all do.
Well,
then you flip this out of the way, and then you're cooking.
well, and the other thing too is you don't have to zero these. So I can take this from one gun, put it on another gun, Essentially, your adjustment is your eye relief.
Sure.
There is a little adjustment to center the dot in there, but essentially your zero is based off of your red dot. This is just magnifying it.
Yeah, you're just zooming in is all you're doing.
Yep. So now the downside of a magnifier, which comes with any magnified optic, is your eye relief. Now you start having eye relief positioning. Where a traditional red dot, you don't have that. Eye relief's infinite through them because it's just a window you're looking through. But let's say you were looking between a 1 to 4 LPVO or a red dot with a magnifier, I would go red dot with magnifier all day long.
Okay.
They're also usually smaller and lighter.
Yep.
Because LPVOs can be, they don't look it, but LPVOs can
It's
be
a lot of
chunky.
glass.
Yeah,
there are a lot of glass in them.
And they're really long.
Yep.
They're,
Well, and then usually that's going to essentially you aren't going to be able to run a backup sight, maybe 45. That's also a downside of these two magnifiers is depending on your primary optic, you might not have room for a backup.
Sure. Yeah.
Iron
Backup
sight.
irons. Usually you can run I know, like this one, it has perfect room to run flip
Correct.
backups. So then you would have to flip that out of the way and pop up your backup.
But depending on your main optic, this mount might be far enough back because don't forget on this side, this does come further back here.
Sure.
So essentially you need about this much room at the end of the rail. But then also with your eye relief, there is a lot to consider for backup irons with a magnifier. But essentially once you pop this out of the way, if you do have backup irons, they could flip up here.
Sure.
And this is out of the way of it. The other thing too is some magnifiers I've seen, some actually come down and then you flip them up into place, where this one flips out, so it's like sitting at 45, and then you essentially just flip it into place when you need it. And you can actually beat the hell out of these.
Oh, yeah.
that up-down magnifier is actually, it's really expensive, but the thing that's nice about that up-down magnifier is you don't mess with the balance of the firearm at all.
This is not out to the side anymore. It's still in line with all the other bulk you have going vertical. Let's say you have 45 offset sights. Now this is in the way of those.
Yeah.
So there's definitely use cases, but I don't know. I would always have a magnifier on hand. In case you need it, you know, because
when you're running a red dot,
this takes 5 seconds to put on a gun.
And let's be real, it looked super cool in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
It really did.
Call of Duty Minneapolis.
Yeah.
That's the new one.
Yeah,
Too soon?
yeah.
Too soon?
It just
new
makes
one.
your gun look more operatory. I think at the end of the day,
Yeah,
and
they're
that's
definitely-
always cool.
If you were to put an EOTech and Magnifier, or even an Alpha and the Alpha Delta on my Mark 18, and then put it on the same Mark 18 with an LPVO on it, that's when you'd really see like the big difference. Because the LPVO tubes are, probably 8 inches long, 8 to 9 inches long. And then with that and like the Alpha, you're looking at like a 5-inch footprint. So with the LPVO, sometimes you've got the front overhanging on the handguard a little bit, whereas with this and a red dot, it's nice and compact. It stays on the receiver.
The other thing with LPVOs, now you have a scope mount. Those aren't cheap.
No.
Well, I mean, you can get cheap ones.
The good ones aren't cheap.
But yeah, I mean, you're looking at $150, $350 for a decent scope mount. And then a scope, you're looking $250 to $1,000, $1,500, like sky's the limit there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But for a decent magnifier and red dot, I mean, out the door, $500, $600, $700, $800. I mean, we sell this with the Alpha for, I think it's like $320.
And even if you're going on the high end and you go with the king of the red dot magnifier game, EOTech, you're looking at on the high end like what, $1,000?
Yeah.
$1,100.
Yep, $1,100, $1,200 probably.
Versus if you went on the high end with a LPVO, you're looking at like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000.
$2,500, $3,000.
Yeah.
Those can get up there real fast.
But I will say LPVOs at full magnification, some benefits you get would be your reticle, essentially your BDC, your bullet drop reticles, your MRAD reticles. Like those are actually made for
Distance.
accuracy at distance. I would say these are more made for almost a spray and pray at distance. Like you can still make an accurate shot.
Yeah.
But let's say you have a 3 MOA dot that you put under a 3x magnifier. What does that dot become?
6 MOA. Is that right?
3 times 3.
3 times 3. 3, 6, 9 MOA.
So I'll preface that I don't know if that's exactly how it works. If it's like a true 3 times 3 multiplication, but let's say it is. So now your dot's 9 MOA, 9 inches at 100 yards. Like, okay, I mean, people, I want a quarter MOA AR, I want a 1 MOA AR. But you can't even see what MOA is at 100 yards. And that's where having an LPVO with some nice etched glass in there, really thin lines that you can actually see like a button out at 100 yards. That's going to be where your difference comes in. Like, do you need the precision at 100 yards plus? Or do you just need to get on target at 100 yards plus?
I would also say the good thing about an LPVO and also these that beats, let's say, like a Prism, for example, is the quick target identification, like being able to mag in very quickly. So like when I was hunting this fall and I was seeing, a tree or something move and I was like, wait, what is that? And I didn't have this deploy, I deploy this and then I'm zoomed in really fast at an instant. Okay, what is that? Okay, that's just a tree branch moving or whatever. Okay, never mind. Let me not freak out.
Well, and that's like, if you aren't used to looking through magnified optics, if you start magnified, it can become very disorienting very quickly. You don't know where you are, and a little bit of movement is a lot in the optic. And yeah, like starting at 1x, get on target, flip it in, and you should still be generally on target. It is much, much easier. But now that does take more time than if you just started magnified.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I think I have one of these on my personal gun. These are great for, again, specific use cases.
I have 3 or 4 magnifiers at home, 3x, a 4x. It's kind of one of those, I just kind of keep them in my range bag. You never know when you're going to need them. Super easy to pop on to any gun.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, this one does have really nice glass, though, for the price.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Charge for it.
The rubberized outside, too, that feels great. Yeah, it's just a nice thing. But that's probably all we have time for, I think, at the end.
No, let's do one more.
One more?
We got
One more quick.
All right, one more.
And you know what? If you went with an LPVO, you can still keep it looking drippy. You just put like a little offset red dot on there, and then you still, with the LPVO, you get the cool look, you know, that you would get with a magnifier.
Personally, I like LPVOs.
I'm not a fan.
I know you aren't, but for the right application, I guess I would much rather be able to just throw it over to like a 6X or an 8X. And the other thing too with magnifiers, like usually about 4X is kind of as high as they go. So if you need something more than that, you're looking into magnified optics.
3X is really like the most popular.
Yep.
What do we got, CJ?
All right, our last one. Foregrips.
The BCM Gunfighter?
Well, yeah.
Vertical foregrips.
If we're talking
one
about
might
the
say.
BC
I would say these angled foregrips that are kind of angled.
89 degrees, baby.
Yeah, that are kind of angled, that are kind of not angled. Yeah.
I have a whole box of these in my basement, so it's definitely a smash for me.
Okay.
This one specifically, and I run mine this way. So this towards the end of the barrel. So
Okay. So backwards.
Backwards.
Okay.
I call that forwards.
Well.
BCM Gunfighter is definitely a keep for me. I used to like the Magpul AFG, the angled forward grip.
Oh, yeah.
When that first came out, because I started on a Knights Armament Company broomstick. I don't know if you remember that big. It was like big circular chunky guy,
Can you show me how you held it?
like this, because that's how we were initially taught.
Good grasp.
Big grasp on it. And then that, Magpul Dynamics kind of changed the way we all shoot. But then the AFG came out along with the C-clamp style of gripping and locking out your elbow and really locking into the human performance side of shooting, courtesy of Magpul Dynamics. And that's when the AFG came out. I used the AFG for years. And then this guy, I think I saw this on like a gun store shelf, and it was, I think at the time it was like $15, and I just picked it up on a whim and I threw it on. It was a not M-LOK version.
Oh yeah.
It was a
pick version?
It was a pick rail version. I threw it on my DDM4 at the time, and I used it, and I've been using it ever since. So since like 2019 or something, I've put one of these on just about every firearm I've owned, with the exception of that Tavor, because the Tavor has a built-in hand stop, and it's just, I don't shoot that gun nearly enough to justify buying more parts for it. But yeah, this specific is definitely a keep for me, and I think everyone should have one. On the M240, we used to put one on the side. So on the M240 Bravo, there's two pick rails
So you use
on the
as a
side.
brace.
Yeah, and you'd put it on the side, and so you could hold on to it, because the bottom,
not a felony.
well, nothing's a felony in Afghanistan. Well, I guess that's not technically true. But no, yeah, we
What
put it
is
up
the
there.
saying? It's not a war crime the first time.
Yeah.
But we'd put it on the side because the bottom of the 240 barrel would get so hot that it would heat up that little plate.
Yep.
So we would just throw it on the side, nice and smooth. So even on a medium machine gun, I would say it's a need.
So I guess for me, these I'm not the operator.
Yeah.
That's not my forte. I've never put one of these on a gun.
Wow.
On an AR.
Okay.
I've always been the C-clamp shooter. The most foreign thing I've gone was the Go Guns gas pedal that for ARs, which I don't think they make anymore. I'm kind of surprised they don't, but essentially it was a thumb rest.
I thought you had that. What's that thing called from Stinger? They've got that.
Oh, the Ergo one?
I thought you liked that one.
I do like that, but I don't have that on any guns myself.
Really?
Yep. The most I have is just like a simple hand stop, 90 degree, very small.
Okay.
Like the little bikini guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost like a barricade stop.
Sure.
One might call it more.
Those are getting like built into handguards a lot more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
saves
To keep your hand from sliding past.
hand sliding too far forward, especially with the stubby builds.
nice index point too.
Index point, but then
That's what I use
also
those
you can
for.
use it as like a barricade, something like that. But I mean, for these, I think it depends on how you like shooting, what's most comfortable for you. For me, I've always came up C-clamp. I don't really need anything holding my hand in position.
Have you ever tried the C-clamp like with one of these?
Nope.
With your fingers kind of angled, a bit more?
Nope.
Okay.
Never tried.
Okay,
So
sure.
I might like it, I might not.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't need.
I know you have shot with one because you shot my Mark 18. My
Yeah.
Mark 18 has that.
So, but at the end of the day, why is there all this here?
It's an index.
If I only need this much, why do I have all this? Unless I'm meant to grab it like this.
Which you really shouldn't. Probably.
No, because remember we did that test. We were trying to overheat the barrels
Oh, that's
to
true.
see how the groups open.
Yeah.
And then I did need to grab it like that.
And so that's where I would say, okay, tucked can, lot of rounds, heat buildup, yes. That's where, I mean, at the end of the day, any like vertical grip or slightly angled grip, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
something that you can hold on to that's not the handguard comes in handy.
Okay. I've noticed that gripping it this way, like that, on a shorter build helps my wrist. Because if I'm doing the C-clamp and, you kind of see your wrist, if you bring that in closer to you, if you have like a 7.5 inch barrel, something like that, all of a sudden your wrist right in here gets really tired after a while because you're just gripping it at a very unnatural angle. If you introduce something like this into the equation, that levels out your wrist just slightly and you can still get a C-clamp in and it turns into a much more comfortable grip
we go
after
into
a
the
while.
human performance stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
That's something we need an expert for.
so I guess
I'm just saying what works for me, what I find.
I came up handgun, pistol shooting.
Okay.
And essentially what I was taught was this wrist, thumbs pretty much in line. So when I go to a rifle, I just grab it like this.
But what if your barrel stops here? You see that there?
Yeah,
That could get a little bit more
Fatiguing.
fatigued after
fatigued,
a while. Yeah.
but at the same time, like, I don't know, what about this?
that could also work.
This is so much more comfortable than, this. So like, I feel like this isn't solving the wrist angle problem.
Yeah.
It might be helping, but at the same time, like I do have an AFG on the Nerf gun.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That is very comfortable to shoot. It's a very big C-clamp now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I'm shooting 30 rounds through it at a time and then a 30, 40-minute break.
Yeah, I think we need to have like a no-joke human performance shooting expert come on to talk about some of this stuff. I think that'd make for a really good episode.
That'd be fun.
So here's the other thing with it too, is there are 10 different ways to hold an AR. Which one's wrong? None of them. Which one is most...
I would say holding it by the magazine, that's probably the wrong way to do it.
Well,
No, that's definitely not the wrong.
Oh, is that right?
so what I would say is, what is most comfortable to you that you feel comfortable shooting it? If it's by holding the magazine, you know what? You'll probably learn not to do that at some point. But if that's comfortable for you, go do it. If you find this uncomfortable, then yeah, do something like this. That's kind of one of the great things about ARs. These are $18, $22
They're
today.
they're like sub $25.
Yeah, like if you hate it, okay, you could give it to a friend.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, you like it. And it's not intended to be grasped, but now you kind of have this like vertical broomstick grip that like you kind of have options with this style. I mean, for me personally, I probably wouldn't run one. I'd probably run either like a true like vertical grip or like an AFG, or like personally, I'm just like a hand stop guy. I like the raw feeling of that round tube in my hand, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
On that note, we're going to
Give
close
me a
out
call.
the podcast with that as the end note. I do think we should get maybe a human performance person on at some point, but we'll find out. We'll have to find someone. I'm pretty sure we know someone who knows someone who knows someone.
If you know anyone in Minnesota that's really good with like human physics and the way the body performs, and like, and they're in Minnesota, tell them to reach out to us. Tell us who they are. We'll reach out to them.
Shoot an email to support at? Or
Support at AT3 Tactical. I'm not going to say the rest. But yeah,
.gov.
just send YouTube comments.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Just hit us up. We'll get in touch. We will see you guys next week on Thursday. Until next time, we're out.